Hello, and welcome to the Weekly Scroll Podcast. My name is Ryan.
And I'm two escaping psychics in a trench coat.
And joining us today, we have Logan Dean. How's it going today, Logan?
What's up, dude? Good, I guess. Yeah, that's fine. Everything's fine.
Great. Everything's just wonderful. The world's completely fine. Everything's good. And we're gravy.
Yeah, I'm 2.5 miles underground.
Here we go.
Perfect.
Like one of those buggers from Lost.
There you go. I never watched Lost. I'm glad I
Hit a
did.
little button every time the number gets too low, so it flips back up. You know.
Yes.
So for those out there that might not know who the heck Logan Dean is, who the heck is Logan Dean?
Oh, I'm Logan. That's me. I don't even know what I do anymore, honestly. Like, I'm still making stuff, but mostly I'm just doing contracting. So, like, I do a lot of Kickstarter coordination, Chinese manufacturing, shipping, freight, logistics. I'm like the guy who does all the stuff nobody wants to do anymore. So,
Nice.
Somebody said I was like a gunslinger the other day, and I thought that was pretty cool. I've been
Okay.
using the term soldier of fortune for a while.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
going to get to that point where you're literally going to be like taking shipments with helicopters, like disguised
God.
as stuff just to get books into the country.
The amount of Kickstarter backers who have straight up proposed smuggling to me as an alternative to getting their pledges is a non-zero number.
Yeah,
and,
sure.
and I have to be like, I appreciate your idea. However, these are crimes.
That's barely a federal
Yeah.
crime.
78
I was going to say, there's a lot of crimes happening that aren't being prosecuted right now. So, wear red hat, you're fine.
Me and Adam Bass are gonna go in on like a single engine Cessna and start running games
Sick,
like
yeah.
from the Canadian border into Ann Arbor, yeah, for sure.
There we go.
Yeah, that'd be
There we go. That's
perfect.
the way to do it. And
It's like bricks
disperse
of
the country.
cocaine. It's like tightly wrapped zines. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're bringing in like Eat the Reich.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, the ICE agents are just like slicing up with a knife and be like, that's that indie shit.
Like pulling out the dice and snipping them.
Yeah. And
I hate how that's real. Like,
we're getting to that point. I mean, knowledge is power, And you also made the company and all the stuff from the company.
yeah, that was like 5 years ago now. We did company. We being me alone in my house.
The royal we.
The royal working on updating company. Actually, just had a meeting with Alex Mitchell last week to finish out some rec league art and then like get into what we want to do for like an actual first edition.
Cool.
Because everything's been in beta for 5 years and I've been busy.
Very mothership of you.
Yeah,
Got rid of all those.
all these.
Oh, you got one of the gray, the special edition ones. Yeah.
Chase Psychers, yeah. Hell
Yeah.
And then I only got this because of you, the original company print.
Is that the one you bought on Noble Night?
It is.
When I spotted it.
Yeah.
Somebody, I've never had my stuff sold into resale.
It was great. I was looking for it forever, and I told Logan about it because it was on my list of like my grail list, and then I just get this message randomly. It's like, hey, they have one on Noble Night. I was gonna grab it, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And you were like, but if you really want it, I was like, yes, I do. I really want it, so I got it. So this is an original the company print, and this was the cards and everything.
You were gonna buy back a copy of your own game from resale.
I gotta get it out of circulation. Like, it's the ideal distribution platform is just leaving stuff in like wet cardboard boxes in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just trying to get back to that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
A paper bag in a bus station. That
You gotta do like fuck, what was that? Was it geocaching?
Yeah, geocaching.
Yeah.
People still doing that?
No.
Yeah, people still geocache.
Not like they
just
not
out
like
in
they
the
did
woods.
like 2008 though.
I mean, not like when it was a fad. Of course not. Like it
There's
just
just
probably
some
went back to the levels before it was a fad.
some diehards. There's a guy in my neighborhood who's always metal detecting the same park, and I'm like, bro, haven't you done it?
He's got a system, okay? He's working a grid. It's a very
he is working a
narrow grid, yeah.
But I'm like, what are you looking for?
Treasure,
In the baseball field.
Hey, people drop wedding rings and shit all the time,
People drop shit all the time. You're right.
Yeah. You'll get
found my
1/10
gun.
of what you bought it for the second it leaves the store, but that's the diamond market.
I mean, it's definitely a retirement plan.
Mm.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, it's
Retiring, that's gonna exist.
Yeah.
it's got I think more stability than a job.
Mm.
I mean, yeah. My job currently, and why I can't leave, so I'll just be depressed until I die, is it has a pension plan and early retirement. So I only have to work for 17 more years.
That's actually not that bad.
That's pretty good, actually.
And then I get to retire with 75% of my health insurance covered and a pension. So
that's nice.
Yeah.
Congratulations on that.
Let's see if we make it 17 years. Let's see if
17,
this
that's kind of a tall order.
Yeah, we'll get there. No, we won't. I doubt it. We'll see. So for those who haven't encountered the company, what's the company? Because Megacore and a lot of things you do all fit under this kind of same umbrella. So what's that umbrella?
Oh yeah, so I started Megacorp in 2019 to make the company. But the company, the original game, is about private emergency response teams going to garbage missions to save their employers' like proprietary assets. So it's like the Umbrella Corporation. When they send in those SWAT teams to like kill everybody and steal the T-virus, that's who you're playing. The core, the good guys,
yeah,
protecting company assets.
Yeah,
if you're watching Alien Earth, there's a lot of that going on in there.
Yeah, corporate interests or peak.
The core, I guess, like feel of the game is interpersonal conflict that I tried to recreate within the players. So each one of the roles, which are just careers, the jobs, has a different goal that directly conflicts with another career's goal. So the idea is to create interpersonal conflict without, like, naturally, with a slight mechanical edge, without the GM being like, you guys hate each other. Because everything is on a timer. Like, you're always running out of time, and people have stuff to do that kind of conflicts with everybody else's plan. And then it tends to get a little chaotic. The goal was for me, as a person who runs games all the time, to do as little work as possible to create tension.
An admirable goal.
Yeah, I'm lazy. So like the company missions tend to be pretty cut and dry, pretty simple stuff, but everybody's always fighting in the middle of them, so they take hours and hours because everybody's arguing. And then I just like go get a drink or something.
Hell yeah.
But by developing that, I did a lot of research into corporate fuckery, and it's really hard to write speculative fiction right now because the universe keeps scooping me. Like, oh boy, like the guy running the CD, like the health administration, has a worm in his brain. Like, I can't write that. Nobody would buy that. But since then, I've kind of worked all of the corpo garbage into like everything I wrote, because I tried to make like a kind of connective tissue between everything. So the main company in the company is Wuhan Baxter, which is this big multinational conglomerate that's legally distinct from Weyland-Yutani.
I was about to say, it's your like Weyland-Yutani. Yeah.
And then there's a bunch of other like subsidiaries that put in other stuff. Like Novarium is in the company and in Psychers. And Psychers is it's a standalone game, but it was developed as kind of an add-on to the company. So those psychic power rules, you can staple those to company characters. And I think in the reprint, we're actually just going to fold Psychers into the book.
Nice.
Because it really fits. It nests in really nice. The company WB exists in Triangle Agency now, which is great, because I helped produce Triangle Agency and I wrote on the vault, so I made Caleb put the WB in there. So now my company is an enemy of Triangle Agency. We've established like a whole canon behind it, so that's fun. It's just nice to grow it out, and then like it's a little Easter egg and everything. Like I think Baxter Corp is in Demon Fuck Cleveland. I'm sure there's some company reference in Metro Skate. I just don't remember what it is. But I try to put it in everything just because I think that's fun. And like,
yeah.
I love the Dark Tower. by Stephen King.
Hmm.
It's one of the books I think he did a good job on, and he's always seeding that shit in like all of his other books, which is hit or miss. But like, I love that shared universe, like author mind palace garbage.
Are you in any of your games? Can we meet you?
I'm not in any of my games. Oh wait, that's not true. I think I'm the head of Novarium Pharmaceutical, actually. Like according to Psychers. I'm in a bunch of liminal horror games because Goblin Archives like put me in a bunch of them. So I'm in
There you
like
go.
The Mall and like I think I'm in Hungry Hollow. Um, that's pretty funny.
Yeah. I mean, if you're gonna make stuff, like, why wouldn't you just do shit like that? That'd be awesome.
Why not?
Yeah, I think
I
it's
mean,
funny.
Yeah. I mean,
it's
you can
fun.
meet Adam, or Adam is in canonically. He's in Cyber Metal 2012. Like, why
Yeah.
wouldn't you just put that, like, specifically on the timeline, like right before Reagan dies, is like Adam Vast is born. So just as important, you know. Um,
It's like meeting Hideo Kojima in Cyberpunk 2077, and then he's just hanging out, and you're like, "What are you doing?" Like he's
Or
not
in
even a
Metal Gear
character.
Solid, you know?
uh yeah, no, I'm having fun. And now that writing stuff and producing stuff for Megacorp is kind of a back burner thing, it's just become like, what can I make to get my head into a space that's not like work?
mhm.
um so yeah, since I left my big boy publishing job, I've mostly been doing a lot of like I said, kind of freelance work, mercenary work. A lot of cool stuff. Triangle Agency just won a bunch of awards. That was really cool. I've been working a lot with Tyler Crumrine over at Possible Worlds to develop out a lot of. We got a lot of cool projects coming up.
Cool.
We turned and burned a Kickstarter in 52 days. Can't actually recommend doing that if you value your life and health. But we did it. We put out Better Strangers in Tacklebox
Oh, the
earlier
two
this
card
year.
games, yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Yep.
picked those up at Gen Con. Yeah, those are good.
Yeah, those are moving really fast. People really like those.
Mm.
We got a new campaign coming out next month with Megan Cross, James D'Amato, and Tyler's Games. Uh, Homecoming. I always want to say Creedence Clearwater for Revival, but it's called Cosmic Century Nights. And Chuck. So we're doing a 3-game Kickstarter where
Yeah.
if you buy the first two, you get the third one for free.
Oh,
Because
there
it's
you
like a
go.
little meeple game. And that's all building out to Realis, which is Austin Walker's big
Walkers, yeah.
opus. And we're really excited about doing that next year. So that's been a really interesting process because Tyler was just doing stuff by himself for years and years and years. We started around the same time. Like Tyler and I did Zine Quest in 2020, like the same time. Like he did Feather Beak and Bone, and I did the company. So we've been kind of contemporaries for a long time, and when I put out a call that I was looking to help people do more production work, he hit me up, and here we are. And so it's been fun to help Tyler like grow Possible Worlds from like just a one-man show into like a full-on publishing company.
Yeah.
Which,
Yeah,
Pretty
we've talked to Tyler on the show. What my brain is breaking.
that's fine.
For when we had Tyler on, it was the game where they did like the art mixed with the narrative with the people traveling and you could stop whenever you wanted. What am I talking about?
Details of Our Escape.
Yes, Details of Our Escape. Yes, Tyler was on to talk about that. I don't know what episode that was. We have a list of running though. If you do, we have reviewed a bunch of your games, and because Hunter did the work, I want to say it. The company was episode 104. Psychers is episode 133. So that was only about 170 to 150 episodes ago that we
And the
had those
Tyler
on.
episode was 137.
Oh, so right after we did Psychers. So there you go. If you wanna hear more about Psychers or the company or hear from Tyler Crumrine, you can listen to those. There we go.
Yeah.
Now, is the company in Rec League?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Gotta
they're
ask.
all
Gotta segue. Gotta transition.
yeah. So yeah, let's talk about Rec League. Since what I used to do was party games and card games for bigger publishers, and I kind of got pretty good at making card games. Like doing layout for them, manufacturing them, proofing, all that stuff. I've been doing it for a while now. So in my what what counts as spare time, I have been developing this game, Rec League, for about 3 years actually. Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's I don't Full disclosure, I do not want to make a trading card game. Like, it is too much work and it takes too long. I am just saddled with glorious purpose on this one. So, like,
Of course.
it's kind of this thing that has been needling into my brain over and over and over again, and I've been slowly kind of tinkering with it. And then one day I had like a game, and I had to. Now I got to finish it because if I don't, I'm gonna look like an idiot because I've been talking about it for 2 years, and I think it's good, which is honestly one like I never say that about stuff I write, so like wild. Um, but it's the conceit is that it's a card game that we developed in 1998, and then subsequently lost. So it's from the like heyday of like the Deckmaster games from WotC. I've been I've been designing in like a what if 9/11 never happened type of space, which is really interesting, because I've been getting real into how cool that world would be. Um, like, what if Al Gore won the 2000 election? We'd all be like fucking billionaires in space, hanging out, drinking sweet tea. Uh, and then I come back to reality. I'm like, oh man, this is fucking sad. Um, but I took a bunch of stuff from card games I love. The biggest one is Magic because it's like the biggest card game in the world. I play a lot of Commander. So the central kind of selling point is to give people a commander type experience without having them have to interact with the WotC war machine. Um, so like, because that's obtuse and like ridiculous, and you have to spend a ton of money just to be able to like actually play.
Mm-hmm.
So how do we create a type of experience like that without people spending much money? I also love Netrunner like so much, and like Netrunner's been the most canceled card game in history. Uh, because it's been canceled twice and it's still going because fans are running it. Um, and then there's some Digimon in there a little bit, and quite a bit of just I played a lot of Wipeout, Wipey Outie on the PlayStation 1. It's a racing game in the future where you have these hovercraft racers. And everything is like corporate sponsored, and it's got that like late 90s like Japanese futurism type of feel.
Mm-hmm.
A wonderful game. So a lot of the design elements came from that. And then mechs, because mechs are cool
I
and
agree.
and evergreen, and everybody likes mechs. So the elevator pitch is it's mech NASCAR. Um, it's all competitive. It's all like Blood Bowl or like Roller Drome or like Robot Jocks. So it's all kind of tongue in cheek, um, while also being extremely violent because I'm a big fan of violence. I think it's cool to watch and entertaining. And most of these games just violence simulators, so that's fun. But yeah, no, like I've been having a lot of fun with it. I wanted to figure out how to make a deck building game, like a construction game, without having to sit with hundreds of cards and sort them
Right.
out and like building it out. So like the actual deck building is super fast. All the rules are pretty cut and dry. Like it's turn based. You're building up energy, like Hearthstone, instead of mana. I mean, I have it set. Did we switch? I'm sorry, I'm
Yeah,
not
I
looking.
can. Boom! Look at that.
Whoa. So
Transition.
this is my desk. I cleaned it off for you. You're very welcome. So Rec League plays in turns, like a game. It's crazy. But the first thing you do is you build a mech, and the way you do that is you choose a frame, which is kind of like your that's your mech, your frame, your access.
Yeah.
Then you
Your
choose a
core.
corporate sponsor. Here we'll go with WB because we love WB. And that becomes your commander type of area, right? Like these two things have different powers. Each mech has two powers assigned to it, as well as a structure, which is your HP, and a heat cap, which is the capacity of your heat. The corporate sponsor has a kind of a meta breaking rule. So I play a lot of board games. So like there's a lot of like mechanical stuff I really like from other stuff kind of pulled in. And this creates kind of your course like engine. From there, you put your systems in, and each system is consisting of 5 cards. So, like, this is the SMG system. Um, each card has a cost, an energy cost, and an effect that it does, either damage or some kind of like persistent effect. But you choose 6 of these with 5 card suites to create a 30 card deck. So I don't know why. I'm sure. You know what? 2 cameras. All right. So instead of choosing 100 cards for commander deck, you're really just choosing um, 8 things. The system, or I'm sorry, the core frame, the sponsor, and then 6 systems. There's 3 different kinds of systems. Reds are weapon systems, blues are primary systems, and greens are auxiliary systems. So you can have like, like guns or swords, and then you have like, oh, these are my firewalls and my defensive systems, and then you have missiles or shields and stuff like that. Um, that
These are
said,
very nice looking cards, by the way.
thanks. I am a professional.
Yeah, if I keep repeating that, it makes it true, you know?
Yeah, so I did all the layout on the cards. I did everything but the art on the system cards. I actually did all the mech art. And then all the mech backgrounds are that's just World War II combat photography from the National Archive, because that's
Cool.
public domain.
So cool.
All the iconography is public domain shipping iconography, so it's just the same symbols you see on like shipping boxes. That's why structure became a broken wine glass. And like it fits, like it really kind of like it's the weirdest one, but it fits. Um, so yeah, after you create your deck, you shuffle that up and you start to play. This card is the pilot interface. It's where you keep track of all your resources. This is kind of my favorite part of the game because it creates a sort of personal resource management game that you have to play in order to actually be able to fight. Sort of like piloting a mech. So
Mhm.
each turn, your energy goes up by 1, which allows you to play cards for their energy cost. Well, that one's free, but this one's 1. It goes down. At any point, you can increase your heat to put more energy into your pool. So at the beginning of your first turn, you really only you have 1 energy, but you can go up as much as you want if you want to push your luck. Heat can be reduced by either purging your heat for 3 energy or discarding cards 1 for 1. Your
Hmm.
hand size is your structure, your maximum structure. So like some mechs are bigger, so they have a bigger structure, so they have a bigger hand size. Some mechs are smaller, so they have a smaller hand size. On your off turn, when you receive an attack, you have to discard cards from your hand equal to the damage received. If you can't discard any cards, you reduce your structure by that much damage. If your structure ever gets 0, you're dead. Thank you, Netrunner, for not nailing that down. And on your attack, you're spending energy to do damage. Then the opposing player can, you know, ditch their stuff. There's also defensive cards that give you more defense if you play them for their face value. But every card has 3 uses: the face value, ditching it to reduce heat, and then becoming a defensive card. So there's nothing that is a single use, and there should never be a turn where you can't do anything. Thank you, Radlands, for letting me rip that off. This is a game of a bunch of ripped off stuff that I stapled together because
Isn't
that's
that
all
every
I need.
game?
I would say
That's
that's
every
like
game.
post
Yeah.
game,
Yeah.
so
Secret. That's all of them.
Yeah.
And then like that's the basic loop. There's a bunch of like there's other actions in order to get it within. This was a fun thought experiment. So mech games are usually miniature based, and they have a spatial kind of awareness to them. And so in order to figure out how do we do that with cards, right? Without putting them on the board. So there's an engagement or disengagement mechanic. For 1 energy, you can get in close or move far away. That allows you to use melee weapons, but if you're too close, you can't use ranged weapons. So yeah, if you have a sword, you have to get it. You have to spend the energy to get in and actually sword,
yeah.
as a verb.
Yep.
Um, the main oh yeah, then you can draw cards or reduce your heat. Um and so it's just a turn-based brawler. The main issue we had in playtesting was that it was too fast. People were just banging it out in like 5-10 minutes. So I
Mm.
created these event cards. Each round, after everybody takes a turn, an event card is flipped. The first event is always the same. Everybody kind of gets a buff, like you just spawned in and you're blinking. So it keeps people from blowing each other up right out the gate. And then the events get a little like hit or miss. Like this one is super cool, so everybody ditches all their heat. That would be really great if you push your luck really far. But some of them are like zero gravity. This one makes it cost more to engage or disengage. So they're like universal modifiers. Um,
Cool.
yeah, and then there's the resource management aspect of it. Every turn you're getting more energy until you get up to 4 and putting heat into your tank. If you ever overheat, if you go beyond 6 to 7, um, if it's your turn, you ditch all your cards and your turn ends, which makes you really vulnerable to attack because your cards are your defense. So it's really important to watch your heat and like be mindful of where you're at near your cap because some attacks, hacking attacks, actually give you heat instead of damage. So players offhand can kind of fuck with your heat. Um, so it becomes this kind of like, what am I willing to push and what am I willing to save? A lot of the time, the cards you draw don't make it to the next round, like because you're using them for defense or you're like using them for discards to cool down. So it leads people to take really big swings, which is awesome because that's what we want. We want people to be having fun. So after a round or two, people start to understand that and then just start going all out. And the most satisfying thing is almost every playtest game I've ever played with this has had the group say, "Let's play again." Um,
Cool.
and so like that's how I knew like, okay, this is something. Um, that's the basic loop of it. You just play until there's only one person left. Um, but I've got a couple like there's a couple of other ideas like there's some expansion ideas I have in mind as well as like using it to tell like campaign type stories because like it's you could do role playing with this pretty easy. But that's not what I'm out to design here. I'm just out to design a straight up card brawler that is easy to play and pick up, but has like an infinite amount of combinations. So the main thing is not balancing it at all, at all, because like that would drive me insane. Um,
Just like
and
original magic, you know?
right, yeah, there's just shit that just is broken. Um, and I want it to feel like playing with toys. So, you know, you're snapping parts onto an action figure and playing against them. And that's been really fun. We don't do deck construction in playtesting anymore just because it takes too long. So everything's
Mm.
pre-built. But I have a second deck, a second set of cards that if people want to build a deck and play it, they can. And that's been really fun to see like the systems people mix and match and see what kind of combos they come up with. Because I'll be honest, I haven't had the time to test every combo because I am busy making money and not wasting my time on this. So it's been really fun and really satisfying to see people kind of like really like turn onto the game and then like get into it really fast. Um, I'm excited about it. It's again like not something I really like thought I'd see myself producing. But it just won't go away. Like the thought won't leave my head. And we're at a point now where I'm just kind of too far gone. I mean, look at these beautiful cards.
They're gorgeous.
They're
Yeah.
really great looking cards. I cannot tell you how much I want this to play it. So
Well, and you got to show some of the cards because they're like
Oh, you want to see
they're
some more
great.
cards?
They're funny though. Like, what's the
Yeah.
one that I was cracking up with at Gen Con? Isn't there one that's just like Big Gun or something?
Oh yeah. A lot of these still have some of their old names, and one is just the big rifle, and the card is shoot big rifle. Um, and like I meant to change that and didn't. My favorite set in this, and I don't know if it's out, is the knife printer, which is just a 3D printer built into your arm that prints knives. And so 3 cards are stab, stab, stab. They're free. and then 2 cards are print, which is just take all the stab cards out of your discard and put them into your hand.
Cool.
So stuff like that. Jump Jets Dash is really great because it's a reaction card that can like let you engage or disengage. So if somebody plays like a missile launch at you, you can actually like go under the missiles and get near them. Or like if somebody's trying to swipe at you with a sword, you can get out of the way. Reloads are just free draws because draws are kind of expensive on purpose. Because like you shouldn't have to draw cards. I should note that you're drawing at the beginning of your turn, not the end of your turn. So any cards you have left over at the end of your turn are your defense cards. You can't draw at the end. But some platforms like Tango, because she's so fast, you draw at the end of the turn to kind of like represent that. Yeah, it's been fun kind of thinking of how to do this type of game, which is very well trod territory. I mean, mechs have been around since the 70s, like in popular media with Gundam, and like I'm going with like Pat Labor, and like there's a lot of Pacific Rim in here.
Cool.
So, and the idea is not that these are shiny, big, like corporate produced robots. These are like battle bots people made, and then they got corporate sponsorships. So there's no uniform mech type. Like Tango's like a little bipedal mech. Echo's the war machine, like the leftover soldier mech. One of them is just a construction rig, and then there's like a hazardous material research one. And then like I have a bunch of other ones. One just looks like a frog, and I love that one, but I haven't given it good powers yet. But it's just been fun to kind of play in this space. I love Lancer. Like I think we've talked about this before. I'm like crazy about Lancer. I was
Nice.
I was like in the original Kickstarter. I've run probably 100 hours of Lancer. It is my baby, and like, but that's because I love tactics games, and it's just got the right amount of role playing to like pass into my group to be like, it's a role playing game, you guys. And then
definitely.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, sure.
for sure. And then I
like 20% of it maybe is a role playing game.
And then I make them play X. And then I basically make them play XCOM for 4 hours.
That's
and then
so okay with me. I would so love to be part of that group, honestly.
I mean, like
I'd love to play Lancer.
I love Lancer so much.
Yeah.
And
Lancer's one, I think we've said it on the show numerous times. Lancer is one of those games that a lot of people would love to play, but very few people will actually run.
Yeah, I'm not running.
So. Oh, it's like running a small business. like there's so many tags. Like if you have like more than 3 enemy mechs on the board, you're like managing things. But I've run a lot of it. I got it. They have a great app that helps a lot with the CompCon app.
I assume when you're running it, you really employ that app.
Oh, it's just easier than character sheets, and everybody can have it on their phone. And they can track their. I can't track everybody's stuff in Lancer.
Yeah,
I just can't do it. It's too intense. But CompCon has an encounter builder.
It does,
for the GM. So you can put all of your enemies in there and track all their stats and stuff, and like it lets you know when they're off turn and stuff, and like that's really nice. I actually don't think you can run Lancer without that app.
I was gonna say I don't think it's possible to really run it effectively without the app, which is crazy.
And it's free and it's like really good, and I'm just like that type of support is awesome. Like Mothership has a great third-party app. Morkborg's got so many cool like little character generators and dungeon generators. Like I love that stuff. Karen's got a great character folio app. The company will probably never have that because I don't have that patience. And it should be paperwork for the company. Like should have a little sheet.
It should be in triplicate. Like you should sell where you have to like tear off
like the carbon copies.
Yeah, carbon copy character sheets would be incredible. Where you have to fill everything out in triplicate before you can get your stuff.
Yeah, a little stamp for the GM to
for company games at cons. I actually bought a label printer. And like there's a label printer version of the character sheet, so people and it randomizes a character. So you just hit the button and it prints one out, and then they pop it into a folder, and that's their character for the one shot.
That's awesome.
We're trying to Caleb over at Haunted Table and I have talked about getting a just a straight up ID printer and like just printing people employee IDs at cons. Because
Awesome.
I think that'd be hilarious.
Be hilarious.
Those are really expensive.
I can imagine.
And it takes like 10 minutes. Like it's got to like put the image on the thing and laminate it, and then like
I
think it like blows on it gently and then like pushes it out.
We have to have our employee ID badges at work are magnetized for like all the door openings and stuff like that too. So they literally have to like select which doors you're allowed to have access to and stuff.
This is mine from the Art Institute of Chicago when I worked there for like 11 years, and it's got like a magnet key in it and a barcode and everything. And I look like absolute garbage. And I was supposed to turn that in when I left, but I didn't. Because I left on March 13th, 2020, and I never went back. So like, it's not like somebody came and took it. I just like, some stuff happened.
Yeah, it's weird. March 13th. What was in 2020? What was happening there?
Crazy.
Yeah, something
crazy.
Oh yeah, I refunded a almost $40,000 purchase that day actually. So fun facts from my job that didn't exist in the same form after whatever happened at that time period. You know?
Yeah, just some stuff.
Yeah, just some stuff.
When I was in Essen a couple of years ago for Spiel, I went to the Folkwing Museum, and it's a wonderful modern art museum. They have an incredible collection, but they have a room that's just like, this is all the art that this would be here that we lost from 1939 1945 when some stuff happened. It's just like, okay, yes, cool.
That's what the Smithsonian's going to be like in like 20 or 30 years from now, and be like, yeah, here's all the there was a bunch of stuff here, and in 2025 something happened. You know?
Stuff happened.
Yeah.
Now it's just full of Confederate statues.
Yeah, weird.
But yeah, that's I mean, like that's pretty much it. I always feel like I'm missing something with Rex.
I want to play this fucking game, dude.
Yeah, real
dare
bad.
you bring this on the show and make me want to play it so bad?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that was the point.
I like in theory I loved Magic for a really long time. Like I really like card battle games, you know? And I fucking love mech shit. Like I'm such a mech boy. And we've been playing Mech 20 on the show on our not weekly games. And that's been
playing again tomorrow. Yeah.
We're playing again tomorrow, and I've been reading Flames Over Ryan. I also just played through Armored Core 6 3 times.
And a huge influence on this was fucking AC6.
It's unbelievably good.
It's so good.
It's so good, and it's such a FromSoft game where if you want to get all the endings and learn everything, you have to play through it 3 times.
Keep playing.
So this is like really cool, and I really enjoy the concepts that you've like freely ripped from other games. Like I love the cards in your hand being defense, and that being like a very like strategic resource to like use or hold on to. I think that's incredibly interesting. I also love that every mech game, no matter what, has heat. You know, it pops in a little different, you know, and everyone uses a little different, but like everyone understands that you can overheat a mech. Like that's canon, you know.
Yeah.
I think it's an interesting I mean, like that's just straight Lancer, right? Like they do heat so well. But I think like there has to be a mech is such a power fantasy. There has to be some foil to that, some kind of vulnerability. So making it that, oh, this is a machine, like it's got flaws. And you're a professional who knows how to use it, so you can manage it. But like you got to have some kind of like Achilles heel. Like I just backed Mac Attack from Chris McDowell, Mobile Armor Colossus. Like the way because it's a mech game. I can't. Come on.
Like,
it's my whole.
And the Doomed was good, so I'm really excited to see what Mac Attack does.
I'm very excited. It's but like heat. Like managing the core, like what is this thing, this unwieldy thing you're piloting? How can it be taken down, right? Like what, and you can't, it's like some mechs are just too strong, you can't hit them, you're too strong for blasters, So like you gotta like get in there and start, like heating them up and making them vulnerable. It also provides a different vector for tactics. Like if it's not, we're this just goes 2 to 4 players. So when 4 players are really
Cool.
brawling it out, it becomes very chaotic, and you have to pivot on the fly. You can't really have a strategy. Your mech and your corp are going to give you a trajectory, but they're not going to be your end all. That's the cards. So, and you can't count on your cards being in your hand because they're constantly being rotated.
Hmm.
So it's a game that doesn't let you kind of sit on your system. Like it doesn't let you sit on your engine, unlike Commander, which is
Yeah.
like I the way I describe Commander is you get a bunch of people together who have all designed their own board game, and they're going to play their board games at each other. And
Dude, I hate Commander, honestly.
I love it so much because I love that type of mechanical
Yeah.
interaction. But that's because like I'm in there like making weird combos to kind of exploit the game. It was made for me. This is my hole, right? Um, that's what we're trying to accomplish here, but without all of that shit. So like
Yeah.
there's not somebody that comes in and is like, I paid $500 for this deck and it's gonna beat all of you. That's garbage. But if you do some clever like interactions or you find a cool mechanical exploit, that should be rewarded. And like I want to see people play like that. That like a big influence for this is Radlands. I really love Radlands because it is all about finding broken card exploits and like finding these card synergies that should be busted in order to win. And I think that's an underutilized design philosophy. Uh, we talk about balance a lot in game design, and maybe fucking too much, honestly. Like
Maybe too
balance,
much.
maybe too much, because like at some point, overbalancing something takes a lot of the fun out of it,
Mm-hmm.
and then it becomes a like an analytical thing, like a min max thing, or like I need if I do this, this, and this, then I'm gonna win every time. And that isn't as fun. That's not exciting. And that's not fun for normal people to
I,
play.
I think balance matters most when you're gonna do something repeatedly, right? So in like video games, for example, like Apex unbalanced, you're gonna have thousands of people playing hundreds of games like each a day. The balance is gonna create a meta that people will then only do one thing. If you're doing like an individual experience thing or something you're not gonna do a lot, like balance is totally fine. But if you're doing like 10-year campaign and something's broken, you got a problem. So for something that you can just pick up in battle and whatnot, if it develops a meta, I think a balance is an issue. But like otherwise,
Sure.
Yeah.
And like my fix for that is just like adding cards that are cooler, like break the meta. That's what Netrunner, I think, when it was with Fantasy Flight, never really kind of grasped. And what it's grasping now with Null Signal, because fans are making it, is that as the meta evolves, you have to go bigger. And like Fantasy Flight was developing a meta for Netrunner annually, not in real time. So like when they were doing cycles and these packs that were coming out monthly, which was a really cool like product like release concept, but they weren't responding to the meta in real time. They were products that were already planned to come out months and months in advance, and once they came out and people played with them, they broke them. Which is kind of where Magic succeeds, sort of a little bit, because they're in the trenches with the cards, being like, nah, this one's a little busted right now, this one's not good, and they're doing these bans and stuff. Sort of. It's not great. This is, but like at this point, for this, I just want it to be as big and loud as possible. So like people should find those exploits. They should break it so that other people have to respond. If you hate that exploit and think it's broken, find a more broken one.
Cool.
And then get a hold of the company and say, hey, we need a cooler card than this broken one. Let's get it out.
I have 2 non-related questions. The first one was, you kind of made a reference to it earlier, and I don't know what you ended up saying. You said originally the rounds were going too quick. How long does like a game last now? on average?
Like 15 to 25 minutes, maybe
Oh, it's
30.
so amazing. I love that so much. My biggest issue with Commander, other than like it's a money grab by fucking Wizards of the Coast to buy 100 non-repeating cards, is also that it's like my friend's like, oh come on, it's even longer than standard, and I'm like, that's actually bad.
That's a bad selling point.
Yeah,
I like it when like I get knocked out in 15 minutes and then my friends are playing for 2 more hours.
yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. No, like we were doing rounds before I introduced the events. Rounds were going like 5-10 minutes, and they were fun and they were fast and they
Yeah.
were big and people were enjoying it. But me as a designer, I was like, that's too fast. Now with the events, it gives an even playing field. So like it's help. This has 3 uses too. The event cards do an even playing field, so no one can run away with the game. They create a universal tactical change that everyone has to accommodate to, and they function as round counters, so you know how much energy you have. So like you can look at how many event cards have been played and know how many rounds you've played. So everything in the game has multiple uses. Has to.
Very clever. And then I guess my second question was, you also kind of made reference to there being like some sort of campaign play aspect to this. How do you see that working, and how would it like actually work at the table? Like, is there like a game master? Like, what's it look like?
The concept for it right now is sort of like, hey, you know this game Magic? I'm going to talk about it some more. It's sort of like Arch Enemy, where there's an overarching like a non-player character that all the other characters are fighting against. So that's represented by a mech card
Cool.
that has its own stats, and then a deck that's off turn deciding what that enemy is going to do. But it's like a co-op, so all the other players are banding together to try to beat this like big mech. But in concept, you could do that with any type of encounter.
Cool. So the Kaiju expansion pack is what we have to look forward to.
You know, like yeah, something like that, or like I mean I wouldn't put it all out there. There's a bunch of lore. Like I wrote a whole bunch of shit about it. So like there's the corps are bad, crazy. And you know,
Really?
like yeah, like and then like these were mechs that were used for warfare and for construction and for colonization and for oppression, and now they're being used for sport. So like you don't just build these. I mean, we should just build them for sport. That'd be fucking cool. But they're billion-dollar war machines. Like they weren't originally meant for this. That's where I really like the stuff in Lancer, where it's like the Everest, the basic bargain mech, is really good if you know how to use it, but everybody wants all the flashy shit. So
Right.
like so the Everest, the humble Everest usually gets left behind, but you start with a solid mech that's really customizable. And so like these are kind of based off of that Everest, like multi like customizable, or like an armored core, right? Like you can swap out whatever you want to make this bigger thing.
So you said you didn't want to make a TCG. This is a battle game, right? This isn't Pokemon. You're not gonna have like foiled full arts that people aren't even playing the game to get yet.
Oh
no, so I don't want to do blind boosters because that's madness. But I am taking a living card game model. So there's a core box that is, I mean, I can discuss the product. The core box plays 2 players. It's got all the stuff to play 2 players. So in order to play 4 players, you need 2 core boxes, but the core box is also going to be $20. So like it's not too expensive.
I'm getting 3 core boxes. Really? Yeah.
I have a tier for the Kickstarter next year that is like it's a discounted 4-player bundle that's 2 core boxes for less. But that I took from Corp, like from actual publishing, which is, you know, like make it a smaller price point and you'll sell more units. But the expansions are just mechs. They're just a deck, like a built mech with its sponsor and its frame and its systems, and then you can take those out and mix and match them with anything else. So it's a set, like a box that you know what cards are in it, but we're gonna do like 10 of those.
Are you gonna do? This is what I'm envisioning. maybe like con exclusive foil packs with little extra like system cards or sponsors or
I
something
want to
like that.
do full art cards. I talked to Alex this week about full art cards because we're also doing. I really love the black and white art on the cards because it makes it feel like manga panels. But
Mhm.
a lot of players want full color, so we're testing out what the full color cards look like. Um, I want to do full art like borderless cards. I think that'd be fun for like promos and stuff. The pilot interface card is a thing that's really open for interpretation. Uh, as long as all that information's there, because it consists of both your resource management and your player reference card, and they're double sided. Are we still on my feed? They're double sided, so like you can put them on either side depending on if you're left or right handed. Um, that was just for accessibility.
Cool.
But these can look like anything because they're kind of universal. So I was thinking of doing like limited editions of these. But you also just can make one. Like that's the other thing. The main model and distribution for this whole thing is there will be no monetary barrier to play. A print and play set of this is free. So like
Cool.
if you want to print the cards and put them in a deck at home, do it. If you want to buy a print on demand set, it will be cheaper than buying the full retail version. So there's three levels of interaction to engage with the product, but there's never a, a paywall. Like you should be able, if you have the resources to print them out and put them in sleeves, you can play the game. Um, which is another me kind of like shoving it to Watsy, right? Like you should not have to be rich to enjoy a game. You shouldn't be or to win even.
Yeah.
Like that's bullshit. That takes away all the fun. So like I don't want to lock anybody out ever. So yeah, everything will be available print and play. Like just print it out, play it. I don't give a shit. Um Hell, if you want to put on nice cards, put on nice cards. I don't give a shit. Like, please play it. Like, my whole model, the whole Megacorp model for years has been pay what you want because none of this stuff should be gate kept. Like, it should be for everybody. And like, if you want to give me some cash for it, that's fucking awesome. Please do. I accept cash. But like, I don't want that to be a barrier to play.
Yeah. Man,
Uh,
if only the indie scene felt that way right now, maybe a lot of people wouldn't be getting burnt out on it. You know.
maybe, but like, I don't know. I took a long break from making stuff in the indie scene to help people kind of become bigger and like grow as publishers because that's the step, right? Like
Yeah.
that's what we're all working towards, but it's very few people know how to do it. And so scaling and like figuring out what you're good at and what you want to do and like having people help you with the other stuff um is great and helps a lot of people. And like I'm really proud to be doing that with a lot of publishers and to help them kind of scale up and to find out how to make this into a career and how to make it into something that like produces folding money that you can pay your bills with. But it's hard work. And it's not just being like, here's 100 things you find in the ball pit at Disney World, like, and here's a book of that. Like it's production and like making sure your margins are good and not paying Mixam too much money to print your books and like people are paying way too much to make stuff. And so like, figuring out what a margin looks like that's affordable where you're like, oh yeah, I can do some offset printing and pay like inside baseball right now I'm getting these for about 75 cents a deck. So like that's really good. And so like I can keep the MSRP really really low. Which is the point. And more people should be doing that, but it's hard. It's tough. Like if you think about it, like I'm making a zine and then you have to make the logical jump to I want to print this in China and make 5,000 copies of it. The gap in knowledge between those two things is enormous and intimidating. And like you get a lot of imposter syndrome and you're like, is this worth it? Am I good enough for that? Is this a lot of work? And it is a lot of work, but like once you do it one time, the second time becomes easier, the third time becomes easier. And it's really like not stopping. It's about continuing through. Yeah, you guys know you're doing a podcast. So many podcasts get started and stopped every year. But the people who are successful at it are the people who keep going. And like you because you have to. A lot of people want instant gratification on their endeavors, because we live in a culture that like does like you can order something, it'll be there the next day or later that day. Like you get instant gratification so easily, and people think they should be good at everything, but it is okay to not be good at everything. I have to tell myself that all the time.
Right. We should probably all tell ourselves that more often. So
maybe. But I like what I do. I like bringing this type of like hard-won, cursed knowledge to people so that they don't have to learn it.
fair.
But I also think there's room for all of us to grow and figure out more economical and lucrative ways to make this stuff. That's not us wearing a barrel at the end of the day. I tell a lot of my clients, like, I can't guarantee you I'm going to make you a lot of money, but I can guarantee you that I will make it so you lose the least amount of money. So like, and people seem to like that. They like when I'm like, you're going to lose less.
There you go. I mean, that's ideal in the current state of the economy. To just not lose money is fantastic.
I mean, it's tough, especially. Oh man, there's so much. The economy.
It's great.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
And the president and his team keep telling me how great everything is. Is that not true?
I picked a hell of a time to get into like international manufacturing and logistics as a career.
Mm-hmm. Two things. Is there going to be accessibility wise also, maybe when you come back on the show again, when this launches, we can play a little bit of it. Is there going to be a digital version of this game? Have you thought about putting the cards even just scanned in so they can be put into like a deck builder or anything?
I don't need to scan them in because everything is a digital file. So already done. There's a TTS mod for it that we've been using for playtesting.
Oh, really?
Why? Yeah, but TTS every week. We could have just been in TTS right now.
Invite us, bro. We want to play.
Let me clean it up and I'll send it to you. Because it's got some old cards and a bunch of old art and stuff.
Cool.
I haven't put the new designs in yet. It was just something that we were using to kind of like get through reps. I do have.
So we will definitely add that to our not weekly war games list if we have the TTS mod for it.
So in my previous life, in my previous career, I was in charge of some development of mobile ports of card games, and I have a good connection in that space. The problem is capital. Those cost a lot, and in order to make that money back, we would have to make it a paid app or ad supported, and I do not have the bandwidth for that right now. The core accessibility focus for this at this time has been pre-manufacturing localization contracts. So I'm working with a localization partner to get localizations for this game in English, French, Spanish, Italian, and German prior to manufacturing. So we'll be able to offer those during the Kickstarter in order to get larger offset runs. So if I can get like an extra 1,000 orders in these languages, then I can pay less for each unit. And I just want to offer that. That's such a rare thing to offer. And if I can do it, I'm gonna. So like we'll have all of the different levels of interaction, print and play, print on demand, and full retail product in those languages at launch, which is it's fine. It's totally fine, and it's not stressing me out at all.
No.
But this kind of shit. This is why we love Logan Dean, and even just to the point that you have the pilot card where you could flip it so that left-handed people can use it effectively. Like
I'm left-handed.
Level.
So like,
I mean, well, there you go. If you weren't, yeah, but that's crazy. And like, you know, when people have like, I got a Spanish version of the game, that's fantastic. But like the fact that that's such a rare thing in the space, when especially the LATAM community is enormous and incredibly talented, is crazy. So to be able to like at production be like, here's this box that is not expensive, and if you get two of them, it's even less expensive, and we'll offer it to you in like what was that, five languages, 4 or 5 languages?
English, Spanish, French, German, and Italian. 5 languages to start.
5 languages is crazy.
Yeah.
Like that's, and again, with the thought process that, no paywall, with the pay what you want stuff, like the accessibility across the board for all of this, especially financially, especially as we've joked about the entire episode, as this world is burning and the quote unquote economy is caving around all of us, making it accessible to play, afford, and run is huge, and navigating. And you're just the perfect person to be able to navigate the current, de minimis bullshit and like all the rest of the stuff that's burning international stuff. So it's crazy.
I will say
when someone says de minimis, I take like 10 points of psychic damage.
Yeah. I will say personally, I thought the reason we loved Logan Dean was the mustache, but I think that's also a great reason as well. So
this is the Stash Cast today.
It's the Stash Cast. No, I've talked about it before. I come from an art history background working in museums, and I was radicalized really young because of like the Iraq War and stuff. But like working in museums really made me realize that we keep a lot of cultural assets behind lock and key, and we make it so that only the affluent can access them. And that's fucking bullshit, man. Like art is for everybody. Games are for everybody. We should be creating spaces where those things are accessible to everybody. And I know that goes in the face of capitalism as a whole, and like making as much money as possible, hand over fist. But I don't care for that because like I've never had a bunch of money, so that's never been an issue for me. I've just always wanted to enjoy art and play games. And like I used to pirate games all the time. Like that's how we played games when we didn't have any money. So creating products that are both financially viable, so that I don't like bury myself in debt, but also we're able to create them sustainably and to welcome in people that might not have the means to actually engage with them at a full product level is the most important thing to me. Again, like all the company stuff is free. Like you should, if you haven't checked it out, you should. You probably have it, honestly. It's been in a bunch of those really big bundles. So check it out, play it. Yeah, you don't have to play it. I'm not your dad. But like, I love to be able to offer that stuff because that is who I'm designing for. Is for the people who just want to play it but might not have the money. And there's so many of those people. There's so many players that are just like scraping by, like getting like a Warhammer team together out of like extra pieces, or like using a secondhand commander deck, or like building magic decks just to play. That shouldn't be the case. Like you should be able to interact with the hobby without being, without being employed.
hell yeah.
Completely agree. I mean, it's a great ethos to have. Once again, I wish people need to listen to you about a lot of things.
You're right. You should tell my clients that.
I should. Speaking of clients,
this episode.
Yeah. Speaking of clients, are you? Is there a way for people to reach you to help them not only with like because you're cool and stuff, but also like the international shipping stuff? Is that the thing that you're still doing? Do you reach out to clients? Do clients reach out to you? Can people reach out to you? What are you doing with that? When's your webinar coming out for teaching?
I keep pitching a panel to every con I go to called "How to Be a Better Kickstarter Backer," and it's just me yelling at people, and it always gets rejected. No, I do consulting. I do contract work. You can contact me at logandean.games. That is my website. There's a contact form there that goes directly to me. I haven't had to like reach out for leads in a while. I've been getting a lot of referral work. I'm about to take on some long-term contracts, so I think I'll be kind of focusing more on consultation instead of coordination. But I try to work within everybody's budget. I don't like, I have a scale that I work with. An hour or two of my time is not gonna break your wallet. And I'm happy to connect you with people because I also have a ton of like contacts within the industry. Like I've worked with a bunch of big publishers. I'm still working with a bunch of big publishers, but like retailers, distributors, manufacturers, logistics professionals, like all the people who are getting their hands dirty. in the supply line, like those are the people I work with. Like there's tons of hands that make it so the game gets from its manufacturing to you, and each one of those people is integral to that process. And I've just happened to like make a little list of who the best people in each one of those roles is. Um, and I love working with these folks, and like everybody's super passionate about it. I love working in games because people are like, it's not something that is important. Like it's not, we're not manufacturing insulin, but it is something that it means a lot to a lot of people.
Yeah.
And the people in the industry, that most of them are really passionate about providing experiences, and then like a small few of them are really passionate about making as much money as possible. uh and there's a, you can tell like it's not hard, it's not a big industry, so like we all kind of know each other and we all try to help each other as much as possible, and I like that way more than academia. Whoa, like don't work in academia. That's not true. I'm gonna we do need teachers, please become a teacher.
Yeah, but I mean, I also think there's a difference between teaching and academia. You know, one is like educating our youth, and one is like, you know, getting college tenure.
Oh my god, like just people
College
seething.
politics bullshit.
Oh my god, I worked in museums, and it's like you're not even educating the future, you're just like seething because you couldn't do it.
Good
And like
times.
the rivalry between like big art museums is so silly. Like the Met and the Chicago artists in Chicago like hate each other, and it's like, okay, well, you're different museums, you guys know that, right? Like oh man, I could talk about that for another 20 hours, but I'm not gonna.
But we won't. Yeah. Um. So talked about where people can reach you to
Logan Dean
potentially
Games.
consult stuff like that. Yeah. But the company for everything. Where can everybody else find all of your other things?
There's links to my itch on Logan.games. Most everything that I made personally is on mega-corp.itch.io. Um, you can get, I mean, a bunch of my stuff is all over the place. My co-design 1978 with Adam Vast. You can buy that at World Champ Game Co. I'm pretty sure Plus One EXP has physical copies of Demon Fuck Cleveland still somewhere bouncing around. They always seem to be finding more, which is weird because that was a limited run. Um, we're gonna do a reprint of the company once I make $1 million on Rec League.
Cool.
I have another board game I want to make that's basically like Battlestar Galactica, but you can play it in an hour. Because Battlestar Galactica is like my favorite game. And I don't like the Cthulhu one that Fantasy Flight put out. Yeah, I think that's it. I mean, I'm all, and then like I have a bunch of Kickstarters that I've been like helping collaborate on. So
A billion.
we have
50 days at a time. You know.
All the Possible World stuff. Check out Possible Worlds. We have a Kickstarter launching next month. I have one I consulted on, Levent Rouge, that launches next week. That's about like a team of thieves trying to rip off French nobles.
Cool.
So like that one's pretty. It's like a dice, like assignment game. So you're rolling and then like assigning dice to cards to like pull off heists. It's pretty cool. I'm I don't know if I can talk about that one. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff in the fire. I wish like my Kickstarter profile showed all of my collaborator credits, because it shows the ones you make, which is
Yeah.
like 3. I have like 50 collaborator credits. And so when I go into my Kickstarter, it's like, which project do you want to go? And I have to be like, oh, damn it.
You gotta reach out to Kickstarter. They're like, I think in the CEO like on Blue Sky now, trying to make people not hate their company.
Sign the letter, the petition for the Kickstarter Union, to get a fair contract. They've been negotiating for almost 2 years now on that, and like management is not doing great. And I'll tell you what, as much as I would love to see it, you guys do not want the Kickstarter Union to go on strike. Like if that happens, a lot of bad stuff happens for a lot of small indie creators who are just trying to make stuff meet. Like if you sign that petition that's going around, you can check it out at Kickstarter United. Like let your voice be heard on that one, because like those guys, they are the working class heroes of this industry, and they're not getting a fair shake, and like it's really important that we keep them happy and fed, and like that union's I work with them a lot, and I care about those people, and they deserve better. So take the time to check that out and sign it, and let management know that they're just not being cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll try to remember to put that link down below too. So if you're listening and it's not there, comment and remind me, and I'll put it there.
And like, check out KickstarterUnited.org. I just signed it, so
cool. Yeah, check it out. Like they hit their goal of 500 signatures, I think, within a day. We need those people, and they need better. Yeah, and like Kickstarter is a necessary evil at this point, but it's getting better, and I work with Kickstarter quite a bit, to the point where they actually listen to me when I give them feedback, and they've been doing better, and like the pledge management system is finally live. It's 15 years late, but it's finally there, and it's good. It's fine. It does what it needs to do. Like, it'll only get better. So like, if you want to keep that platform around, you have to be vocal about it, because otherwise GameFound's gonna eat it, and GameFound is like a bank, and I don't like banks.
Valid.
I like GameFound. It's fine, but like they've got a very like top down corporate mindset that kind of skeeves me out a little bit.
Ooh, I hate that.
And they're very bored and war game focused.
Yeah, and it's to, those are expensive products that cost a lot to make, and you need to offset them with crowdfunding. That's why I don't make those. But like, come on, at some point, maybe making people pay in for a $500 game is going too far.
Yeah. I mean, I did do that though, but like, yeah, it's too far.
I did it for I have one of these X-Men animated series Magneto action figures that I did a pay in for on, because it was too expensive, but it's so cool.
Yeah, it sounds neat. I think I probably spent too much money on 1490 Doom, but we'll see what comes from that.
That sounds cool.
Yeah. But yeah, reach out to Logan. Definitely go check out the company, check out Psychers, check out all of their stuff. And I can't wait for Rec League. Logan, come back on the show. When is the Kickstarter probably dropping?
That's a great question. It really depends on my contract load. This is to run a Kickstarter for myself, I'm gonna need a little time. And so but I'm planning on doing the current trajectory is next summer.
Cool.
Probably around Gen Con time, because some of that sweet cross promotion.
Very useful.
Yeah, it is. And by that point, I should have I am also of the mind of I don't want to kickstart before I have production on rails. So I should have by that point actual manufacturing proofs, full product ready to go. I'm not gonna ask anybody for money for something that's not done. So
very honest of you.
It's cooking. But I think it's about ready. Some art assets I need to finish, some product stuff. I gotta make dice, which is a whole thing. I wanted them to be spin down, but that's a whole nother level of cost that I was just you know what? People can turn the dice.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Yeah. It's not that much more convenient. So
and they're gonna be smaller than these. These are 16 millimeter. I'm gonna get them down to 10, I think, just because I like that smaller feel.
Teeny tiny dice.
The card game is one thing, and then I have this one has components, which I'm but if you have the Mothership Deluxe box, there's those drawers, those cabinets in it. So we're doing something like that. I have a prototype here. So it comes out like this, and then there's all of these little boxies in here.
Oh, hold on. We're not. Well, let's put that cam back.
I can do it. I can do this. Oh,
no, you're good. Yeah.
So this is the Rec League box, and then it pops out, and then there's all these little each one is a deck, and then we're gonna put a little one of those little cabinets up here, and that's where the dice and the little chits live.
Cool.
But this is about the form factor of the set. Very large, about a little bit bigger than a 100 card deck box. And like I said, that'll have enough for 2 players in it. But if everybody gets one, then you just need the whole set. This is a personal set. And so I wanted it to be a deck box that you could carry your whole game in.
That's awesome.
I cannot wait to make my fiance play this with me.
I can't wait to hear how that goes.
Yeah, she'll win. She'll get the first couple rounds. She'll be like, "Oh, what's going on?" And then suddenly she'll sharpen up real hard and start beating me. So
I have never won this.
Nice.
Classic.
I always swing way too big, and then somebody comes in and just like, which is fine because I have to take notes.
Yeah, totally.
There you go. I'm sure at some point you'll get one. But
thank you.
Let us know. But yeah, come back on again, demo the game. Let us know if we're allowed to stream the TTS when I bug you until you give it to us.
Yeah, I'll get it gussied up. I've been neglecting that with paid work.
If we can't stream it, it's okay. We're still gonna play it. So.
Yeah, we'll still just play it. Yeah.
I don't care. You can stream it all day. Yeah, absolutely. I love coming on. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, great to have you on.
Yeah. And that is going to be us for today. Catch us tomorrow if we wake up for Not Weekly War Games for some more Mech 28 if you want some more mech action. And then more stuff next week. No game this week. But again, Logan, thank you for being here, and we will catch all of you later.